Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Deanna, the Organized Miss, and I'm working on multiple projects at once, but I'm turning on the camera because story time. In 2023, so it was Junk Journal July 2023, I made this flip-flop or flip-flap, I'm not sure what the actual name of it is, kind of, I don't know if it's really a journal. It was actually a prompt, and I ended up making this little folio. And it was inspired by Joey from Joy to Fee. And I had so much fun making it. And then I put it on my shelf, as we do, and forgot about it. And then I was... how much fun is this? I was watching a video. I think her name is Stephanie. I may have this totally wrong because, you know, I get on binges and I just find a new creator. I just have to watch all their videos. But I think her name's Stephanie. Hilltop Journals. And she was working on a journal that ended up being kind of a grief process for her. And as she was making it, she was saying, you know, she was building the cover that she would put the journals in later. She was working on the journals separately. And then when she's ready to build the cover, she does. And I thought, that's genius. I love that idea because I just call them my trash books, you know, that I carry around in my purse. Fill them up. They're not really actually my journals. They're not even my calendar. They're just kind of like, you know, a brain dump book or whatever. And, but they don't actually ever make it to the bin. Because they do have things that I reference in there, right? And memories and important numbers or things that I want to look up. And so I have these, and these span from 21... Let's see, 21, I think this one said 22, and then 23 to, I was getting ready for 24 back here somewhere. So I want to house them in something. So after watching Stephanie's videos, I thought, you know what, I can do that with these trash books. So it was similar to this folio thing, but it was actually a journal. So I started doing that off camera. I thought I wanted to turn on the camera, you know, to document it, because if we don't film it, did it happen? So I got out my, you know, my junk envelopes here, and I started kind of constructing them, and I numbered them how I think it's going to go. And who knows, I may add more flips, I may take some away, but right now this is where I'm at. So it's going to go like this and this, and then I think, yeah, 1, 2, 3, so then I close those, and 4, and then one of the journals will sit here, right? So then I'll close it up, and then I will open it here, and this is 5, and I'll open it. Oh, see, I just kind of have washi together because if I don't like where it's at, I can move them. And then this crease right here, this is where I'll put this journal. I know, you know, I don't know what'll be there. And then I can close it back up. And then the back side is 6, 7, and then I'll have a journal or notebook, you know, here. It'll be bound in there somehow. So I'm thinking this is how I'm going to house these, you know, trash books. I'm done with them, but they're just sitting around, you know, like this. And wouldn't it be nicer if they were in a journal cover? So So that's my next project. And I think really kind of why it got my attention was because she was creating, it became a process for her to process some grief by creating the journal that she would then put her journals inside of. And I'm a caregiver for my mom, and each time she goes into the hospital, I kind of hold my breath. I don't know, is this it? And, I think creating will help me process my feelings because I'm just unable to write them. I'm just having a hard time putting words onto paper about my feelings, specifically regarding the circumstances in my life right now with my mom and, everything that surrounds it. So I can do this. I can create without words. So that's my plan. I'm gonna try to remember to pop back on here. I don't know if I'll do much creating on camera right now. I just kind of wanted to get the structure of it, and then I don't even know what colors I'm going to use. I had nothing. I was just going to kind of meditate on that, but here I am. I will do my best to pop on as I go, but I just wanted to share this, and I will either be right back. Okay, I thought I would show you what I've done so far, and because I like to see visually what someone does, maybe this will help someone else. So I have the books in there, and as I moved each hinge, I decided which way it was going to open. Then I, one at a time, started gluing them down. So I waited on that one. So I opened it up and I just glued this down, and then I added some, what's this stuff? Masking tape over, because this is all getting covered, but I just want to give it a little extra, stability. And then I didn't have to do anything with it because it's just where I folded this big envelope in half. But when I got to here, this envelope, I had to, give it like a little bit of a spine so that it would curl up. So the fold is here, but it folds around it this way. I hope I'm making sense. So what I did was I made a hinge to go here, and then I added the tape because I needed some more support because of the plastic there. So then when I came over here, the same thing. I just, what I had to do here was make a hinge. So I put the two envelopes together. I glued this flap down, and then I added, just out of copy dyed paper, another hinge to give me a spine thick enough for this to sit in there. And so I glued it to both sides, to here and then to the back of this envelope, and then I reinforced it. And then I just folded the flap down, glued it down, taped it, and then I did the same thing with the hinge on this side in here. And so I glued the flap down and then reinforced the hinge on both sides. Now here I didn't give myself as much room. Looking back, I'm like, oh, I should have made a thicker spine, but because it didn't have wasn't going to be the spine of a book, I figured it would be fine. However, when I got to here, I noticed I had them, all glued together and such. So that when I came over here, I again have this spine here, but this one that I made here, this folds back here. So it's a little wonky, but it does work just fine. There's going to be room, you know, for the books in there, which is what I want to do, because if I just folded them, got all the paper, you know, decorated and everything, then the books, you know, they wouldn't have closed. Which if I was just using fabric, it probably would be okay. And I have kind of thought maybe I would put fabric on here, but I still have, you know, the envelope. So I definitely am going to have to do something here, because I thought about putting a paper, like a, you know, another spine out of coffee dyed paper to go over all of this. But when I do, and then when I open this up, I get kind of like a traffic jam there or whatever. It kind of bunches. So I will cross that bridge when I come to it, but likely this will have some kind of fabric with a little more, you know, room, so that when I fold it open, something like lace maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel pretty good about the construction, and now I'm just going to spend some time thinking about what colors I'm going to use, what papers I'm going to use, and yeah, I'll be back when I know more. Okay, I've been giving it some thought. Sorry my chair squeaks. I probably need to get a new chair, but it's the one we got. So I've been giving it some thought about what I'm going to use paper-wise to cover these, and I have a couple of options. I found this pack of paper, well, it's actually cardstock, and I was at, I must have been at Hobby Lobby, and I saw these papers and they spoke to me. So I picked them up and I thought, oh, surely there's something in there I'm gonna like. I mean, generally I like the vibe of it. So my first thought was maybe something purple, but I've decided now against that. So many colors. I really like this. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up what I like. They have several copies of each one, I think. So 4 copies of each. It's not bad. So I'm just gonna start with just the first ones that speak to me, and I'll kind of go from there. And they're all lovely. I don't know. It was speaking to me when I thought I was going to do purple. Now I don't think I'm going to use purple, so that one's no longer. And I may not end up using all these, but I like this one a lot. We'll just see, right? That's pretty. I like this one. I figure once we get these pulled out, then we'll have a better idea of where we're going with this. Because it's kind of pretty. Okay. At first glance through these are the ones I like. Kind of separate them a little bit by color if I can. I don't know if that's even, or how it looks to me, what the colors look like to me. Okay, so we got some lighter backgrounds and some darker ones. And these are navy and black. And I really like this color. I don't know, teal aqua. Okay, that's a good starting point. All right, then, how did I just set this stuff over here? Then I thought, well, I need some digital papers. So I went looking through my, my drive, and I pulled out some papers that I thought I might like to work with, and I'm going to try to remember who they were. I think this one's Artie Mays. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think it is. This is definitely Artie Mays. Okay, these sayings are Artie Mays, but for whatever reason, I ran it through my Cricut, you know, to turn them into stickers, and when it printed out, it looks a little not sharp, so I printed it out. Let's see, also without, yeah, it's a little bit crisper here. I just printed it straight from my printer without going through the Cricut. So I don't quite know, maybe because I had to crop it a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, I like these sayings, so we're going to go with those. Okay, these are Louisa Heinzel, and I don't remember what kit I purchased. I got a couple different ones that I really like, but I like these background papers. And then these labels, these were, oh, I have some other labels I didn't print out. Okay, well, these were, again, one of them. And then I had fun creating my own digital to use, and it's a smash up of everything. So you can probably see I have some of Louisa's graphics in here, Artie Mays, just some graphics that I got from Graphics Fairy, I think. My own computer paper, or sheet music that a sweet friend of mine gave me a whole bunch of it, because it's like, none of it is later than like early 1900s, very old. So I have that scanned in. And then these are public domain images, Graphics Fairy, and some that I did. So, you know, I just layered it all up, but I thought that was really pretty. Again, I did it here. So I was kind of, you know, pulling out colors. This was a little bit of everything. This one is either Graphics Fairy, could be Artie Mays, Amity Bloom. This is one of mine. This is mine. These graphics are mine. This was from a mixed media art, and honestly, I can't tell you what it was from exactly, to be frank. I don't know. Could have been Graphics Fairy. This lace I got from a kit. Gosh, I don't even know if they're around anymore. I bought a lot of like digital elements when I first started doing, you know, designing, and this was some lace in there. All I know what I have it called under my file, I saved it as TSSA, and unless I go in there and look for the note, I can't tell you. And this is from Glam Art Zana on Instagram. She has an Etsy shop, and anytime she comes out with new graphics, I run right over and buy some. So she had a whole set of like postage and postage stamps and letters and flowers. I just love them. So that's where that came from. This one, That's that same lace. I just changed the colors. This is Amity Bloom. And I don't remember. This could have been Graphics Fairy, or honestly, I don't know. These tickets all came from an Artie Mays thing somewhere. So I just, place them around there. So I like the green. And this I made. So this was that Amity Bloom. I think this was Artie Mays or Graphics Fairy. This here was, good question. A graphic from something. And for all I know, it could have been Canva, because that's how I layered things in here. This definitely was Canva. The coffee thing was from Canva. This little bit here, I don't know. See, I promised I'd tell you all these things, and honestly, I don't remember. I made this quite some time ago, and I used it for dividers in my planner, and I had it cropped or whatever, but yeah, I like it. And then this one, I've seen it a lot of places, probably Graphics Fairy, a lot of places. This was one I made, this tag. This is Graphics Fairy, these two postage stamp things. This is mine. This was a hanky. And then the lace here, I think it was the same. No, it was a different lace. Well, it's another digital piece of lace from something that I kind of put around it. This page back here is from a soldier's diary during the Spanish-American War. And I was doing research, and I found exactly what I was looking for, and this was it. So this is included in a paper that I did. But anyway, I kept it because obviously it was public domain, because it says the state line to the Kansas, K-A-N-Z-A-S. This was before Kansas was a state. And anyway, so I that's why that's there. Just some coffee lined paper back there. So, and this little girl, graphical muse or something. So some of these, I don't even know if they are still, I've had them for so long. But she's so cute, and she's actually the full graphic. She's holding like a trick-or-treat pumpkin. So I just cropped her. I liked her so much. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to use these as like my backgrounds, I think. And if I wanted, I could make a master board with all this. And these, I'm just not sure. Note to self. Next time, make them bigger. Oh, gracious. But we did it. I like it, but you know what I realize? The flowers just don't quite pop. I guess the way, when I looked at them, you saw all this noise and bright colors and everything, and I thought it would be too much, but now I'm realizing, maybe it's not too much. I don't know. I'm pleased with this masterboard. My thoughts are to measure it and cut the pieces to size. And then I want to run it through my sewing machine. I think I also want to scan it in so I can print it out again and use it as, so that, because this is very textured and thick and layered, which is fine. It's really good for things like tags and, even covers. But if I want to use just a paper, so that is what I'm going to do. And I have plenty of pieces to make more collage masterboards with. It occurs to me as I'm working on this that I have not made a video. I haven't recorded my work in a while, and that's just because I've been working on it a little bit here and there. Mom's been in and out of the hospital, so really haven't done a whole lot, I don't think, since the last time I put the camera on. But what I have done is let's see, I'll start with, well, I added some closures here when I decided to cover this. I just wanted to make sure they were glued in securely. So I have one on this side and then one on this side here. And I think I had these flip outs done, but I hadn't finished this. So I have a card in there and in here, which I'll do a full flip through, but what I'm currently working on, okay, so I did this one. Just had that as a placeholder. And so what I was going to show you was where the folds are. So for the outside, because it was so kind of bulky and so many pieces taped and glued there, I just got some fabric, and it wasn't long enough, so I just stitched it together, and then I glued it on this side, and I left room so that it could fold, and then this side, and then I've added the paper over it, and then I did the same on this side, and I haven't covered these yet. So what I have been doing is now I'm working on the inside here, and so this is what it looked like before. I just have taped and added pieces for stability. And so before I lay another piece here, I'm just taking some book pages here so it will, cover, let me see, one that I haven't done. So you won't see all this mess. So I had started some as my, to help with the joins, but I haven't done it in all the places. So I'm going through here and I'm putting them down, and then I'm adding, let's see, I'm adding these. Goodness. Then I'm adding the pieces over it. That makes sense. Anyway, I'm pleased with kind of how it's turning out. I still have quite a bit to go, I feel like. I don't know that I'll get it all done in this setting, but I'm just, having fun working on it. And when I am done, then I will come on and do a full flip through. Okay, I have it finished. Well, finished to this point. And I'm sure there's things that I will add later, but for now, I just want to come on and show you how it has turned out. So I have these Sorry Sick here. That's what I'm using as my closure. And because this is a flip-flop journal, I needed it to go all the way around because it opens both this way and this way. So this is the front, and this is actually what I did first. This was my kind of beginning inspiration. It took a while to get through the rest, but I finally decided to give it a title, documented, because the books in here are from the years 21 through 24. So the first flip out and goes like this, and then I have put a little card. Well, it's just like cardstock scrap paper, and then I just added, I don't know, I've had this printout for so long I couldn't even tell you where I got it, with some words. I think these are from Louisa Heinzel, and then some, I just mixed some little pieces here and there that ephemera I've had. So then I added this magnifier. So I started, I guess I should explain why. I started this creation of this portfolio flip-flop folder. I don't know, it's a journal kind of, but it's really holding my journal books, trash books, as just a cathartic way to process, how I'm feeling, how I'm doing with things with my mom. And so the colors and the kind of the flower theme and stuff are all things that kind of remind me of her. And while everything in here isn't specifically her, the process of making this is kind of how I was able to process my feelings. So, like I said, I have this in here, but I haven't written on it. But I have it for later if I want to go in and write some notes. The magnifier has, more than one meaning here. One is just being able to take a closer look at my feelings and the context of the elements and things in here. But also my mom uses a magnifier glass because she's legally blind. So that is, that's there. And then I put another card in here. These are quotes from, I think Graphics Fairy, from one of the kits. Was it the author kit or something? Anyway, I like the quotes, so I have just include that again with just some ephemera and some old digitals that I've had for, I couldn't even tell you this little number it came from. I think Louisa Heinzel kit. And this is just a card. I got these at, I was thrift shopping with my daughter. It was a brand new pack of these cards and envelopes. And I said, I know how to use those. So I rescued them. Again, they're blank right now that I can always come back later and add something. And so the first, now I haven't decorated this, and I just don't know that I will, because it's, the book in here is where this is 2021. So I've just kind of put them in here in like chronological order, I guess. But I have been thinking over time, maybe I'll feel like layering, some ephemera or some, I don't know what. It's like I have a blank canvas for these. And on this envelope here, I just put a tag in here that I can write on the back if I want to. And of course, I love that you can tell that this is an envelope. I just love that. So I just, collaged with bits, some of my digital, this is just sticker paper that I distressed, and like, the pieces that you cut off, like after it's been through the Cricut, you always have those edges, so I saved them for things. So I did that, and just a piece of ephemera. And so part of my dilemma was figuring out how to do this, and so I feel really glad that I went ahead and added this fabric here for the spines, and I made it loose enough, I didn't pull it taut, so that there would be plenty of room when it's flipping and flopping. So that turned out really well. And then the next, this one's 22. And again, I've just left myself lots of space if I want to add, but I don't know that I'll add too much because it's already pretty bulky. But I do have another tag here that I can write notes and things on in the back. There we go. And then the third one is on the back here. And again, there's another card here that I can write on the back of. And I put I just put this in between before I stuck this down. So these pieces here was some Cricut vinyl that I had purchased, like garage selling. There was a whole lot of things, by lot I mean like an LOT, but also a lot of things that came with a Cricut Joy. And the Cricut Joy I bought. It is half the price of what the store price is, but then it came with all this other stuff, tons of vinyl, tons of things to use in it. So I just said, this is perfect. So I cut that up and I just collaged in there. I thought it kind of went with the theme of the flowers. And this one's 23, but it's in the middle there. And then I just have this tag that I made, and I think I'm going to make some more with the big window like this, similar to this, because I really like that style. So I have started that, just a little side note here with that. So I'm saving my envelopes. A lot of them do come with that little skinny window, but yeah, so this is how it turned out. I'm pretty pleased with it. Let's see how it goes that way. I'm pretty pleased with it. Of course, this is just gonna sit on my shelf. The books are already written. I hadn't planned to use this as a journal. The whole purpose was to create a nice way to store my my journals on the shelf, and I think it turned out really well. It's the first time I ever made something like this, and it turned out pretty good. So thanks for letting me share this journey, and I will be back with my next project very soon. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.